Okay, so you see, gloves are off because you barked in the comment section. So don't play nice and play victim. So people know what kind of heretic you are. Tell them what you believe about the so-called Pauline truth so we can begin your funeral.
What do you mean Pauline truth? It's Paul. It's Paul.
Get to the point. I told you don't tap dance. What do you believe about Paul? What do you believe about the gospel? Because you said you're under Romans. So explain what the gospel is to you.
The gospel is Romans 1-4.
Explain what that is.
That's to be justified freely by his grace. We're living in the dispensation of the grace of God.
Yes. See, another heretic. He doesn't even know what Romans 1-2-3-4 says. But okay. So what does that mean, living under the grace of God?
We're in a dispensation right now that Paul was given, that he even declares in the epistles of Paul, not Pauline. And he says that it's been committed unto me in the dispensation of the grace of God.
See, this is why I call it Pauline truth, because you're one of those perverts who think that this was given to Paul. So then, just so I can know that you're that part of that cult, prior to Paul, before Paul was converted, do you believe that the Jewish apostles, they preached a different gospel?
They had the gospel committed unto the circumcision, which was given to Peter. And then later, Peter writes that people like you would wrest his epistles unto their own destruction.
Can you answer questions? I'm going to use 2 Peter 3 to bury you in a minute. Just be patient. What does it mean, the gospel committed to the circumcision?
That was at the time that the diminishing of Israel was coming into being, before Paul came out with his epistle to Romans. Now, what does it say? What does it say in Romans 1? What does it say in Romans 1? I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are
Romans chapter 2, Romans 1:16. I'm going to bury you. Take it easy. I want you to explain to the people, so they know what kind of cult you belong to. What's the difference between the gospel preached to the circumcision and the gospel given to Paul? You didn't even explain it. You just went on around and started foaming. Explain it so I can use Romans 1 to bury you.
The gospel to the circumcision is no longer in operation through Paul.
What is it?
It was by works. They also had to confess that Jesus is Lord.
That's all I needed to hear. You see, why take 5 minutes? You want to have a serious discussion? Get to the point so people understand your position. I know your position. I want the people to know it. So understand what he just said. Prior to
Paul, you know my position? You need to. Do you know my position?
Prior to Paul's, stop barking, brother. Shh. We're going to go to Romans 1. Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to be respectful, unlike you with how you commented on me.
Do you want me to block you? Do you want to have a conversation? Shut up. Let me explain to the people your heresy. Prior to Paul's conversion, this son of Satan thinks that the gospel to the Jews was one of works, but it's Paul who's given the gospel of grace. Now, we're going to go to Romans 1. I'm going to now go to your King James Bible. Show you that you should go flip burgers or sell pizza. Stop perverting the gospel, using Jesus for money and fame, because you're a false teacher. You're a son of Satan. So you want Romans, right? Okay, we're going to go to Romans 1. We're going to read 16 and 17 to see if this gospel was given to Paul and wasn't already announced prior to Paul or preached before Paul. Hold on, let me see this.
Are you talking about Romans 16? You're going to go to 16?
Romans 1, dumbass. Listen, Romans 1, 2, 3 to 4. I'm going to use your chapters to bury. Take it easy. My goodness, manifest. If you want to have a serious conversation, stop manifesting. You came calling me a wolf. Now I'm going to bury you in your vomit.
No,
we're going to see who the wolf is.
You are a wolf.
Well, you're a son of Satan. You're a whore of Satan. So it's okay, brother.
Whore is a King James Bible word, by the way. That shows you don't know it. Okay. That shows you don't know the word of God. Whore is in the word of God.
Okay, so you want to go there with Bible version so I can bury you? Shut up. Stop manifesting.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
I've seen many people like you. You're like a walk in the park for me, buddy.
Romans 1, 16 to 17. For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation, everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. What is he quoting? What is he quoting here?
That's the Old Testament.
What is he quoting?
Let me get you the right answer here. And Habakkuk, where it says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith.
Okay, so you just lied to the people and said that the gospel of grace was given through Paul. Well, Paul told you, you son of Satan, it was already preached in the Old Testament and known in Habakkuk 2:4. Why'd you lie to the people?
Are you gonna pull that one? Are you gonna pull that one?
Why did you lie to the people? Respond, son of Satan.
Are we keeping the law here? We keeping the law?
Answer the question, because Habakkuk is not talking about the law. Habakkuk is saying that the righteous lives by faith. And Paul says this justification by faith was announced before he showed up on the scene. It's taught in Habakkuk 2:4. Answer the question.
Yeah, but you don't know the difference between by faith and through faith.
No, because I'm going to bury you, because by and through are simply the King James renderings of preposition.
That's where you get it wrong. That's where you get it wrong. You're going to a satanic counterfeit with lies.
I get it wrong.
You're going to a satanic counterfeit that has lies in it.
I'm going to use the Textus Receptus.
I don't give a crap about no text. I'm English. I speak English. I speak English.
Answer the question. When Paul says the just shall live by faith, he says this is the gospel he's preaching to the Jew and the Greek right here. By faith, stop your tap dance with the prepositions because you are a son of Satan. He says, you see this gospel that I preach to the Jew first, Greek also, it was already announced in Habakkuk. So he's saying that the just shall live by faith, which is the gospel I'm preaching right now. How is it known in the Old Testament then?
Yeah, but then it says that there's none righteous, no, not one.
I didn't ask you that question, buddy, because that's quoting the Old Testament, which you just made my case again, because he just said the Old Testament is preaching the gospel.
Let me answer that. Let me answer your question then. Let me answer your question. Yep. Back then, under the law, they had to keep works to be justified. Paul says, I was alive once before the law. And he also says he had his own righteousness.
No, that's not what he says. Let's try it again. Right here, what did he quote?
The just shall live by faith.
Okay, this is
Old Testament, and you don't get the through faith because you don't believe the King James.
No, buddy. Paul, okay, I'm using King James. Guys, watch. This guy's not going to last 2 minutes. For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation, everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, also to the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. What do you not get that Paul is saying? This is what I'm preaching to Jew and Gentile. The just shall live by faith. So stop your satanic perversion through and by. Paul is saying, that's what I'm preaching. The just shall live by faith. So
faith in what though? Faith in what? Faith in what?
Can you answer the question?
Faith
Did Paul
in
say
what?
that the Old Testament was made known to them that the righteous lives by their faith?
In what though? In
That's
what
not my
though,
question.
Sam?
Answer my question. Don't tap dance. I'm not going to let you run. Answer my question so that I can bury you with the next step, because I'm going to get there.
The next step is just if you keep reading Romans, he's going to tell you faith in
No,
what?
I want to bury in Romans too, because he's going to show you that even his gospel teaches that you, Gentile, even though you're a dog, you're not a son of Satan yet. I mean, you are a son of Satan, not a son of God yet. My apologies. He's going to tell you that even under his gospel, you, if you're just, you will then be judged by your works. I'm going to get to Romans 2 to your burial. Just wait. I first want you to address, why did you lie to people and say that the gospel, that you're justified by faith, right? He said, this is what I preach, whether it's by or through, this is what I'm preaching. Why did you lie and say that this is something that was given to Paul? He just said, no, what I'm announcing is already in the Old Testament.
Paul also says it's my gospel. How do you reconcile that? It's my gospel. He says my gospel.
So you're serious about that. So you're saying that the gospel he's preaching, which he anchored in the Old Testament, contradicts the Old Testament he just cited?
It goes in line with that, by the way. He's not contradicting it.
Okay, so answer the question. Do you now admit that even the Old Testament, the righteous live by faith?
What's your question, man?
One more time. Don't waste my time, man. I have better things to do than waste my time on a heretic who can't even handle the King James, because you didn't want to go to the original languages. You were scared, but that's okay. Do you admit that Paul is saying, this gospel I preach, the just shall live by faith, was already known and acted upon in the Old Testament, because he cites the Old Testament to show the continuity?
Okay, but keep reading Romans then.
Okay, yes
Where
or
does
no?
it end? Where does it end? Where does it end? With what faith in what?
Okay, I'll get there. But do you agree?
That is him saying the justified will live by faith. That is a principle that was shown with Habakkuk.
Who said it before Paul?
I just read it to you.
But so Paul, you're admitting, is preaching the same gospel.
I understand, because he says, as it is written. It's in the Bible somewhere else.
So you admit Paul is preaching the same gospel that Habakkuk preached.
Nope, it's different. Romans 3 shows it.
No, it is not. I'm going to get to, buddy, I swear, I'm going to go to Romans 2 and bury you slowly. I'm not going to let you run from this, though. So you're saying Paul is quoting the Old Testament to show, see this gospel that I'm preaching? Same gospel preached by Habakkuk. You're saying no, Paul is wrong, or Habakkuk's wrong, or what? Explain this to me, because he's
going to show you from the faith of Jesus Christ, which is the righteousness of God, to my faith in him, because there's none righteous, no, not one.
Hold on. Yeah, and what did he quote to show there's none righteous?
Habakkuk. I just read it.
Romans 3, he's quoting the Old Testament, right? None righteous.
You got to pull it up. You got to pull it up so I can see it. We can see it.
Okay. You just quoted Romans 3, says there's none righteous. But he's getting this from the Old Testament, which makes my point. He's quoting the Old Testament to show, you see what I'm telling you? I'm not bringing anything new, because this is from the Old Testament. So now you buried yourself again. As it is written, there's none righteous, no, not one. So do you now admit that Paul is saying the gospel I'm preaching to you already taught, proclaimed in the Old Testament prophets? So did they preach the same gospel?
It's a principle, because it wasn't talking about believing in Jesus and having faith in his brother.
Because he says in Romans 3, 21, 22, that the law and prophets already announced that the Messiah would come and that we would be righteous by the faith of Jesus Christ. He's saying it's in the law of prophets.
Yes, in Isaiah.
You don't know.
By the knowledge of my righteous servant will he justify me.
Finish him.
Guys, he just buried himself. So did Isaiah 53, written by Isaiah, prove that Isaiah knew that he's justified by faith of the Messiah? You just said Isaiah 53. Don't run from it. So can you now admit Isaiah the prophet lived by faith of the Messiah, because he announced that it's the Messiah who would die for our sins?
Yeah, and look at this. It says
Say it again. Wait. Say it again.
I'm going to read the Bible. Let me read the Bible
first.
Wait,
before you read
That's
it.
The authority. That's the authority. The Bible is the authority, not you, buddy. Look, I'm going to read it. Let me read it, and then we can talk about it. Let me read it, and we can talk about it.
What are you going to read?
Okay, Isaiah 53:11. He shall see the travail of his soul. That's at Calvary. That's the Father. And he shall be satisfied when payment for sin was made.
Okay,
by his knowledge.
Did Isaiah know that?
Yeah, listen, man, don't cut me off. Let me finish. It says,
I'll bury you.
Bro, can I finish the scripture here?
Stop manifesting like the dog of Satan you are. Down, you whore. He shall see the travail of his soul.
You're laughable, bro. You're laughable.
By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many. I'm going to use this to bury you. For he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great. And he shall divide the spoil with the strong. Because he poureth out his soul unto death. And he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. Now, son of Satan, Isaiah wrote this, right?
Yes.
So you just admit again, Isaiah knew it's the Messiah who would justify him and bear his sins. So how was Isaiah saved then?
The just shall live by faith.
Here, let's go with this passage. Who is the servant that is righteous that will justify many and bear their sins? Who is this?
Jesus.
Did Isaiah know this?
Oh, he wrote it. We just read it.
Oh, so now you admit Isaiah preached the same gospel that Paul did. So when did it change?
That's not the gospel today.
Okay, one more time.
He doesn't give us a name there. We have to have a name.
Irrelevant. On who we believe in. It doesn't matter the name.
Oh, it doesn't matter the name later by your...
He left. He left, you see? The guy who called me a wolf, he thinks I don't know his false gospel. He doesn't know that I was raised in that tradition.
Throne defended.